Hey guys, another episode of Philly Guy Bass Stars. And you might be wondering why I have this here laptop and these here fancy headphones made by Quincy Jones himself. It's because today's topic is about music streaming. And that's a hot button topic. And I'm going to take these off because I think I'm yelling and I don't want you... Oh, there you go. Oh, now I can hear a little better. So, music streaming. Wow, what a strange topic, right? You got all these different services. You don't know who to pick. They all offer different things. Honestly, I think every time you see an MP3 based on a sound quality, in parentheses, it should say, well, first it say name of song, and in parentheses, it should say the influenza mix. Because everything done on an MP3 sounds like the original track has a cold, has influenza. You're streaming and you're not hearing stuff in the best quality. There's a camera right there. I'm sorry, I do that a lot, folks. So I'm going to break down the services, and I'm going to also try to break down this sunlight behind me. This is tricky. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, streaming, hot button topic. Let's start with Pandora. I don't know about you guys, but I understand what the opening of Pandora's box is, and that's not a good thing. So whoever have named this service, I think they're pulling our legs because F double minus on that name. When you open Pandora's box, it's pretty much a horrible thing based on the story I've been told when I was a young man. So Pandora, okay, next. Spotify, or Spotify, I don't know how to pronounce it. Started by a man named Daniel Ek. Now, he's from Sweden, and normally I love Swedish people, but I don't know how much I love this fella, because he built his fortune on a service that was a BitTorrent service. So everything he built his money on was based on stealing things from people. And then what does he do? He makes a deal with the record business. Let me break down what the record business is. The record business is essentially Game of Thrones, okay, mixed with Weekend at Bernie's 3. When you mix those two together, you got the record business. Because essentially everybody, let's just say if the record business had its own musical scale, and it does, but not in a business sense, it would go do, re, mi, 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 mi. Everybody in the record business is looking out for number one. And that includes all the different record companies. So they went into business with Daniel Ek, a thief. Well, I don't know that he's a thief, but he built his business on a bad thing. So then you got the record companies, the majors. And they now own pieces of Spotify. And that's difficult because now they're in bed with the guy that has started a business, and that business have made no payments to no artists, and now they all own all the artists. So what do the artists do? They start something called Tidal. And I got to say, that's probably one of the most disgusting displays I've ever have seen, ever. They're all drinking champagne and saluting each other, and I think about 10 days later, the CEO got fired. So I don't even understand Tidal. That's supposed to be for the artist, by the artist. I'm so confused. I will say this, and I'm not defending nobody, but I think Apple was the only company that said, hey, we got this here device, this is an old one, and we're going to set up a service where you can buy things and put it on a device. And we're pretty clear about the fact that we want to sell a lot of these devices to the people. So they went to the record companies. They said, hey, we'll set up the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying that they're our friends. They have $1 trillion valuation for a reason. So they're in business. But what's tricky is, what's tricky is kind of Tidal. It kind of gave me the nervousness. MP3s are weird, okay? Imagine if Tony and I came to your house and we're doing a plumbing job and we installed like a toilet and a sink and we said, oh, we were finished, but there's no hot water. That's kind of what listening to an MP3 is with your ears to the music, because the music was recorded one way and then it gets delivered in another way and then nobody makes any money. But then there's these businesses and these guys like the CEO of Pandora buys a house that's like, I don't even think Tom Brady of the New England, well, I don't know why I mentioned it, Tom Brady of New England Patriots. How about Sam Bradford of Philadelphia Eagle Birds? Go Birds. He couldn't afford the house that the CEO of Pandora built. But then they don't pay the artists. So I'm confused. I don't understand. Tony and I show up, we do a job, we put in your plumbing, we get paid. Everybody's happy. But all these bands, they get started, and they make music and they don't make no money. Now, I know normally Philly Guy Bass Stars, is always about the music, and we're always about the international bass stardom, but sometimes you got to look out for your other friends on the guitar and the piano and the drums, and sometimes even the singers, even though they can be really annoying. Musicians should get paid for what they do. That's what I think. I'm a plumber, sometimes a painter, and I install doors, but I love the bass. And I got the Philly Guy Bass Stars Hall of Fame, and I love music. But I like to see my friends making the music make a little bit more money than the people setting up the technology companies, and they're not really paying them a lot. So, in closing, I don't know how to really close this up. It's kind of a somber, hot button topic. Streaming is weird. I want to be a little more positive. So maybe in a typical Philly Guy Bass Stars way, we're going to go out on a high note. We're going to salute Anthony Jackson. Yeah. We're going to salute Alphonso Johnson. We're going to salute Jaco Pastorius, Marcus Miller, Stanley Clark, Victor Wooten, James Jamerson, Paul McCartney, Mark King, and Victor Bailey. We're going to go out on a high bass note. Now, I know a lot of you that are on into the streaming topic, we can go out on a streaming tip. Stop listening to the MP3s, and maybe every once in a while put on some vinyl or a CD or whatever it is. Because if you don't, you're going to grow up, and pretty much by the year 2025, all music is going to sound like this because you've been listening to it on the beats and you're, I'm not to say that everything's going to be an Irish jig, but everything's going to sound like it has 3 colds. Okay, Philly Guy Bass Stars, signing out. Streaming, Apple, they were the only ones that told the truth. Okay, thank you, Philly Guy Bass Stars.